I know that you have long been an advocate for more funding for NIH, and it's looking good for you guys in this next spending bill that you'll probably get another $2 billion. Even so, the NIH budget adjusted for inflation is still down 19.3% from 2003, as you know. How do you feel about your present funding level? Are you proud of Congress? Are you frustrated at Congress?
Well, I'm very gratified to see how things have been transpiring for the last couple or 3 years. Certainly before that, though, we went through a tough time between 2003 and 2015, where the budget essentially was flat, although sometimes worse than flat. But certainly the marks that have already been provided by the Senate and House are very encouraging for FY18, that this might be the third year in a row. Now, sure, we have not made up the lost ground that happened between 2003 and 2015. That was a pretty tough time. But at least we're on this upward trajectory, which gives a lot of encouragement to a community that had gotten to feel pretty oppressed and pretty discouraged about whether we were going to be able to live up to all of these amazing scientific promises that are in front of us.
Do you feel supported by the Trump administration? Because as you know, Trump had proposed a 20% cut. Republicans completely rejected that and really seem on board with medical research funding. What do you, knowing that Trump wanted to cut your agency, what was that like?
I think that was very early in the administration, coming on and needing to have a budget shortly after arrival. I think a lot of talk and conversation in a very productive way has gone on over the past year since that original budget to try to, again, provide information about why this is such a good investment. And that's not just talk from me, that's particularly from industry, who would say, if asked, and they have been asked, that NIH's success is the only reason that they've been so successful. So much of what industry is able to do in terms of profitability builds upon the basic science that NIH does, funded by the government. So they also would be quite alarmed to see NIH take a nosedive at this point, because that would be mortgaging their future. I think that message is getting across quite nicely, and I guess maybe I should say the Trump administration, at least in the case of carrying me over as the NIH director, seems to have some positive thoughts about what could happen here. And you may know I'm one of very few presidential appointees that was asked to stay on in the current administration, and I'm grateful for that.